Tools and Twisties. We talk about precision tools and performance cars. Today we're going to have a dual purpose video. We're going to talk about and review some Icon G2 ratchet wrenches. And we're also going to talk about the upcoming Harbor Freight Black Friday sale. This is an early version of their Black Friday sale. And I think there's a lot of stuff that's on sale. Nothing really jumps out to me as super interesting except this right here. 40% off Icon ratchets. And in the fine print, what it says is service sets excluded. So the ratchets that come as part of a master service set, not 40% off in all likelihood. This is all preliminary. It may change, but 40% off is a great deal. I'm a pretty big fan of the Icon G2 ratchets, and they have not been on sale except for the 25% off. I think there was like a buy more, save more sale, where if you bought 3 or 4 items, you could get 25% off. But never have I seen the G2 ratchets on sale for 40% off. Now, I also want to differentiate the G2 ratchets from the earlier Icon ratchets, which I'm not as big of a fan of, but we'll talk about that in a little bit as well. So basically, there are 9 Icon G2 ratchets: 3/4 inch, 3 3/8 inch, and 3 1/2 inch, and 3 styles. They have the no comfort grip. This is in the 1/2 inch, no comfort grip, no flex head. And then they have the comfort grip, no flex head. This is in the 3/8 inch. And then they have the flex head. This is the 1/4 inch, and the flex heads all come with comfort grip. So 3 flex head, 1/4 inch, 3/8 and 1/2. 3 no comfort grip, 1/4 inch, 3/8 and 1/2. And 3 comfort grip, no flex head, 1/4 inch, 3/8 and 1/2. It's a little bit confusing, but basically, here's a little chart that kind of outlines the different ratchets. And you can see the first 3 are all the hard-handled, and they're all in what they call the extra long length, which is pretty long. They are 12 inch, 20 inch, and 26 inch, and they're long ratchets. They don't have any normal size ratchets. We'll talk about that in a minute. But the prices are the same for the comfort grip and the non-comfort grip. On sale, it's 27, 36, and 45 are the sale prices. You can see it's the same for the comfort grip version. But then when you get into the flex head versions, they change things up a little bit. Instead of all being XL lengths, the 2 smaller, the 1/4 inch and the 3/8, are what they call L length, long length, at 9 and 14 inch. The 1/2 inch is the same as 26. So whereas the flex heads are 9 inch for the 1/4 and 14 inch for the 3/8, the other 2 are 12 inch and 20 inch. That kind of makes a difference. Just to show you a little bit, this is sort of a standard size 1/2 inch. It is about it's about 10 inches long. These usually run 10 or 11 inches. This is a beautiful snap-on 1/2 inch. And if you compare it to the only 1/2 inch non-flex head, hard-handled Icon, is this monster. And there's nothing in between in the G2 lineup. It would be nice, and I'm sure at some point they will introduce something that's more like this length. This is a 17 inch. This is a flex head, but die-hard good ratchet. But that's sort of the regular, the long, and the extra long. And they don't have either of these 2 yet in the G2 lineup in the fixed head. When you get into the flex head, again, the flex head is just as big in the 1/2 inch, but at least the 3/8 inch and the 1/4 inch are smaller, slightly smaller sizes. Again, they're not, here's a standard 3/8, and you can see it's still a much bigger ratchet than a standard 3/8 would be. But at least it's not, quite as monstrous as some of these others. The 1/4 inch is actually really nice. That's a nice length, but again, here's a standard size 1/4 inch. And this is the only Icon 1/4 inch flex head. This is the shortest Icon available. Twice as long, essentially. This one here is about 4.5 inches long, and this one 9 inches, so exactly. I'll let you listen to some of the ratchets. Very smooth. Now, some of my viewers were adamant that these really needed to be taken apart and lubed with some super lube. So I went ahead and tried that, and it does help. I used both a Super Lube, a lighter weight, 150 weight, which is kind of hard to find. You're not going to find it at Harbor Freight. You're probably going to have to order it. And the Super Lube grease, and I used a combination of both. And I mean, they are not Koken smooth. You know, the Koken back drag is just amazing. They're not Koken smooth, but excellent ratchets, well built. Here's the 3/8. Here's the 3/8 in a fixed head, and the 1/2 inch. All pretty quiet, nice smooth ratchets. They're very strong, very well built. They're definitely designed, you know, let's take a look at this. And they're sort of like a combination of Snap-on and Matco. They're 82, so they're similar in head design to the Snap-on Dual 80s. You can see the heads look very similar. The internals are not the same, but interchangeable, surprisingly. You can swap components from one to the other, but the faceplates are different, and the pawls are different inside, although swappable. The Snap-on is not a locking flex head, and the Icon G2 is a locking flex head, and that's where they borrowed from Matco. The locking design on the Icon with this locking switch here, very nice, very easy to move. It's nice that you can lock it in position or run it free. And here's the Matco, very similar design. Matco is sort of atrocious. I have not taken this one apart to lube it, but this is you know, a very expensive ratchet that is unimpressive to me. I know a lot of people love their Matcos, but I think that for the price, this Icon is actually a better ratchet. I'm more likely to grab it. Icon, of course, full lifetime warranty. And I think that the prices of the Icon G2s are a little bit high on list price. 20% off, I think they start to be a reasonably good deal. At 40% off, it's a buy. It's a buy. I particularly like these two. These are two of my favorites. The 3/8 flex head and the 1/4 inch flex head. This monster here, you know, it's nice when you need something big. Now I got the big one without a comfort handle because it makes it easier if I really need to crank on this thing and I want to put a cheater pipe on it. It's a little bit narrower. A 3/4 inch ID pipe will fit right over that, whereas it won't fit over the handles on the comfort grip ones. So what else do we have here? So here's the Snap-on, just for comparison again. Snap-on to Icon. And this is the Snap-on long, and you can see the Icon is even longer than the Snap-on long lengths. And you know, the Matco is the same as the Snap-on in length. What they don't have in the Icon lineup, and maybe they'll release some new ones. Maybe they'll release some regular length and some stubbies. But anything that's sort of specialty, like this beautiful Koken 3/8 and a 1/4 inch body with a flex head, you know, beautiful ratchet, very nice for compact places. And there's just nothing in the Icon lineup that's like this, the G2 lineup at least. And this is sort of the Icon regular, the Koken regular length ratchet at 6 inches. And the Die Hard, this is a new one to me. It's not a locking flex head. It's a great length. It's very sturdy. The mechanism on it is pretty nice. You know, the head is maybe just a tad bit floppier than I would like. But, you know, good ratchet. We'll try it. Relatively inexpensive. But I think at 40% off, this is the Quinn, by the way. And I think the Quinn is actually fairly similar to the G1, some of the G1 Icons. I will bet you come out of the same exact factory as this 90-tooth Quinn. And I think it's also the same exact factory that makes the Gear Wrench 90-tooth. Decent ratchet at a price point. But, you know, that price point isn't necessarily the list prices. If you're interested in other Icon ratchets, you know, I'm not a big fan of the G1 ratchets, but this is the stubby. And on sale, 18 bucks. It's pretty cheap. You know, I think the back drag's a little rough on them. They're not super smooth. But at 18 bucks, I might buy one, take it apart, lube it up a little bit, see if I can improve it. And on the regular G1s, they do have the regular length flex head at 20 bucks, both in comfort grip and non-comfort grip. And the low profile, which I think that is going to be the same exact ratchet as this Quinn. I think these two are exactly the same with different finish. But the Icon being on sale probably actually makes it a little bit less expensive than what they call these low profile Quins. You got to be careful with the Quin stuff though, because they have a couple different versions, ratchets. Some are made in Taiwan, some are made in China. I like the Quin stuff that's made in Taiwan. Not a big fan of the Quin stuff that is made in China. So that is the Black Friday and quick Icon review from Tools and Twisties. Please comment if any of these things are of interest to you, if you want to see reviews on any other tools, or let me know what you think of the Icon G2 ratchets. And that is Tools and Twisties with an Icon G2 update. And we are out.